guest, Camille Godbout from LAC, is on our BT Couch. Thank you so much for joining us. Camille, we're going to get straight to it. Lots of questions. Let's talk about yesterday's protest. A lot of people were upset. Quick reminder, if you were not aware of what was going on, basically students were blocking other students from getting access to their classrooms, even though the majority of the students in different departments of UQAM had voted against a student strike. What do you think about that? Is that okay to block students from getting into their own classes?
Well, what happened also at UQAM yesterday is a local situation. Some 9 students right now are facing expulsion from UQAM because of their political activities and without any proofs of that. So this is why also the students went forward with this minimum pressure blocking the university. It wasn't ASA who organized the whole thing.
So without it being ASA though, as these protests continue, the question is, because last time this happened, students were blocked from going to class. Is this something that your group will consider doing in the future, blocking students from finishing their semesters?
Well, when a majority of students within their unions vote to go on strike, it's normal that we make everything to make those decisions being respect. I mean,
But that's not what happened yesterday, right?
Well, what happened yesterday is really a local situation at UQAM. I think they're going forward with this mean of pressure because administration at UQAM won't listen to them. So this is why they're blocking the whole university.
Okay, so Camille, I think the big question a lot of people have is Maple Spring, when Maple Spring happened, it was specific, it was targeted against tuition hikes. So with all the different activity that was happening, people tended to understand at least that this was specific to a protest against this, the fees. This is much larger. This is against what exactly? What is your mission statement?
Well, right now, I mean, it's large. Austerity seems very broad, but we're facing right now different consequences of what's happening within our own campuses. Just this last week, L'État announced the worst cuts in education in the past 20 years, and these will have major consequences for all of us, and it's direct attack to the quality of our educations. Just this year, there have been several cuts in different classes all over UQAM, Université de Montreal, and universities all over the province. We're talking about hundreds of courses that were canceled this semester. So looking forward to this, I mean, it's important for students to mobilize on these issues, but more largely also austerity will affect us as future workers. So all the reforms happening in health also, it's for us important to be mobilized on these issues.
So first and foremost, you're maintaining that this is still an education-based protest, because the mission statement is convoluted. When you look at it from a distance, it seems very large, and I think that's why this time around there is more backlash from Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde, because the mission statement seems a little lost. Is it still education-based?
It's public services based, I could say. It's a social issue. In 2012, people were always telling us, oh, you're only mobilizing on the issue that's concerning students, or the student bill. But more largely right now, we're focusing on the social issue that's going to touch us one day or the other right now as students in education. We see it. But it's also the whole ideology and the whole political reason in which the Liberal Party right now is acting that we want to mobilize on.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but I do want to ask you this. So if it is about a larger social movement, in moving forward, the fear is that for a lot of students right now, a lot of students watching this, is that they won't be able to complete their semester or their diploma. What do you say to them? I
mean, we've seen the longest student strike in 2012, and classes weren't canceled. I think there's no. But
the government has said they're not going to go.
They're saying the same thing every single year. For the past 6 years in Quebec, there have been student strike, and they're always using the same tactic of fear, saying that they will cancel semesters. And only 2 days after the strike has started, Monsieur François Blaise, the Prime Minister of Education, or the Minister of Education, said that. I think it's only a reaction that our strike is working. It's a mean of pressure, and we want the government to react on that, that's for sure.
All right, it looks like you're ready to go the distance. Camille Godbout, again, spokesperson for LAC, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Again, there is a protest plan this Thursday at 1 p.m. at a square, Victoria. You will not be giving your route to the police, if I am understanding, or you will or you won't?
We won't give it, but there will be tens of thousands on the streets. So.
Okay, thank you again for joining us.